Guys, welcome to my channel. I want to share a little project that I did for Kathy, who is Kathy's Cards here on YouTube. And this was for her Altered Composition Notebook Challenge. And I had done a VR for her, but I just thought I would show you the project. Now, when I was filming this, I guess when I was doing it a few days ago or whatever, um, I thought the camera was on and I was filming the process just as I was doing it, and I was going to speed it up and just put some music to it. Yeah, not so much because the camera didn't get turned on. But anyway, so I went with some new textural stuff. I've really been getting into vintage, kind of steampunk, mixed media look. And so this is what I did the notebook with. And I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. I'll tell you what I did. First of all, you can tell on the back better. Okay, so I used gesso, and I gessoed the front and the back and the front with gesso. And then I used a mixture of antique white and desert sand acrylic paints mixed with a little bit of elegant finish metallic glaze, and this was called Renaissance Brown, and it's got a beautiful little sheen in it. And so I just mixed touches, and you can see that in here. And then so I just mixed the colors and I painted it. Then I had some of this paper that sort of looked like burlap, and I had a whole sheet of it. That's what I have left. And I just ripped it up, and I used my antique matte Mod Podge to put it on with. So that kind of creates that antique-y looking, and the more that you put it on, the more antique it looks. And so I used that to put the paper on. Before I put the paper on, I used my Vintage Photo, one of my favorite distressed inks, to ink the edges of it to give it that the brownish, like almost burnt look. And then I use this stamp here and this stamp here on top of that. Now, the thing about stamping on top of Mod Podge with distressed ink, and really any kind of ink, it smears. But if you want to get the impression without the smearing so much, I'll tell you what I did. After I Mod Podged it, I stamped on it. And you can see where I stamped. And then I let it sit for a few minutes. And then I took a baby wipe. And then I just wiped it off very carefully. It stained the paper. It stained the book and the paint colors. But it didn't leave the darkness on there. So it sort of created a background image. Then I took... I wanted a hot air balloon. That was one thing I did not have with my bronze pieces. I used some of my bronze embellishments that came from G's Embellishment Emporium, and I put the bronze pieces on here. But I wanted a hot air balloon, and I didn't have one. So I have these hot air balloons that came from Hobby Lobby. And I took the little flag off of it, and then tore some of the layers off of it so that it was almost, it's got dimension, but it wasn't quite as fluffy as it was. And then I gessoed it first, let that dry, and then I painted it with my desert sand, my antique white, and a little bit of that. When it dried, I glued it on. Then I used one of my brown markers from the hashtag coloring. I used this, it's supposed to be dark brown. Wasn't that dark on here, but I went through, I did the thread that was sewed down the middle here and the outside edges with the brown marker. And then I just put some staining in here. And then I went back over it with the distressed ink. So then I had one of these cards here that was gifted to me by Cindy Tenuta, excuse me, I can't get my words out. And I edged it with the vintage photo, and I just loved it. I know Kathy has a lot of faith in the Lord, and so I wanted to put some of that on there too. So it says, just with all things, with God, all things are possible. But I love how the little pieces came out on here, and I adhered them with, ready? Art glitter glue. I swear by this glue. It is the best glue ever. So, on the inside, I love this paper here with the gears, but I didn't quite have enough of it to cover the whole page. So what I did was I had some pieces of this paper left, and I turned it over. It's double-sided, and this had like a wood grain on it, and it really matched this paper perfect. So what I did was just cut 2 strips. I adhered one on the inside and this one on this side, and then I used this paper to fill in the middle part of it. And then I just made a little pocket out of a little paper bag that I had in my stash. Of course, I stamped it with the little gears and stuff. And then I made a little tag, this right here, and it says, friendship is like a garden, shower it with love, and it will grow into something beautiful. And this is a little flower. It was white, and then it just got painted with gold and antiquing on it with a glaze. So, and then on the back page, I had this beautiful vintage postcard paper, and I just went around with the vintage photo distress ink, and I left it plain right here. So, and then in the middle of the book, I went to the middle of the journal, and then I just had this ribbon that I glued in to the back side of the book, and it can fit anywhere in the book. And at the bottom of it, I tied a little knot and just hung one of the bronze keys at the very end of it. So it's kind of like a little page marker. So, Kathy, this is a book that I'm sending you. By the time that you see this video, it will be in the mail and probably in your hands. But I just wanted to show how it turned out. I was very pleased with it, and I hope you enjoy it too. And then I have some other little goodies that I stuck in the bag, but I'm not going to show those. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.